you all please be seated? All row captains in the right place, Lee? All the row captains are set? You're not a row captain, correct? Good morning, all, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2025. My name is Mark Talbot. I'm the principal of Pembroke High School, and before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to thank a few people who have made today's ceremony possible. I think what we've learned over the past 24 hours or so is that setting up for graduation takes a great deal of work, whether we're inside or outside, and I want to thank some folks who helped with today's setup. First, I want to thank the custodial crew from across the district, a crew that is led by PHS custodian Mike Dorgan. Please thank Mike and Carrie Bodell. Bad verbal cue, sorry. I also want to thank our athletic department staff, a mighty staff of 2 that includes our AD, Brian Phillips, and his executive assistant, Mrs. Katie Akins, for lending a hand with crucial facility needs as the day and weeks approach. Thank you, Brian and Katie. We also owe a great deal of thanks to Officer Simmons, our SRO, and her fellow officers at the Pembroke Police Department for helping us safely move in and then eventually out of here this morning. Thank you to the Pembroke Police Department. I want to thank Ryan Antonetti, who's over here to my right, your left, and a Titan, class of 2018, for ensuring that everything sounds just right this morning. Thank you, Ryan. I also want to thank my own administrative assistant, Mrs. Kristen Harrington, who is responsible for the planning, ordering, arranging of all the other details behind the scenes that are making today happen. Many of you have spoken to her these past few days and weeks about handicap parking, reserved seating, student obligations, lost tassels, and so many other things. And Kristen has handled everything with ease. I want to thank her for being such a calm and reassuring presence during a very hectic time for the 2 of us, the past 24 hours especially. Thank you, Kristen Harrington. I also owe a great deal of thanks to Donna Frades, who is not here today, but she's an office assistant who, as she always does, offers to help at every turn. Like Kristen, she came in early and left late, especially these past final days, and we would not be able to have done what we have done without both Kristen and Donna, so thank you, Donna, as well. Just one more group to thank. I certainly do not want to leave out 2 very important people. I want to thank our 2 assistant principals, Mr. Dave Ricks and Kristen Kelly. They have provided tremendous assistance through all of this, especially when I've been tied up doing other things. A lot of school operation stuff I'm not able to get to, and Dave and Kristen took their time to pick up an awful lot of that slack this week. Being an assistant principal is not an easy job. I certainly know that. But I have 2 of the best in the business, and I thank Dave and Kristen very much. And so to get the ceremony started, it is my pleasure to introduce 2 members of the class of 2025. I'd like to introduce Class President Catherine Jacey and Class Vice President Olivia Sowersby.
Good morning and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2025.
Earlier this school year, our school community experienced tremendous loss with the passing of our beloved art teacher, coach, friend, and mother, Mrs. Amy Mata, only to lose our dear friend and former classmate, Maddie Straub, a few short weeks later. Their loss has left a huge hole in our hearts, but we also know that their spirits live on with us in so many other ways. I ask that you join me now in a moment of silence for Mrs. Mata, Maddie, and all other loved ones who could not be here with us today. Thank you.
At this time, I ask that you all rise for the singing of our national anthem in the Pembroke High School alma mater, which will be performed by the Pembroke High School Chamber Singers.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Proudly we sing to the pride of Pembroke, we'll join our voices in tuneful song. Firmly we stand with the strength of spirit, we sing to Pembroke loud and strong. Sent all for Pembroke, dressed in the colors white and blue. When tradition starts anew, we sing to Pembroke loud and true, loud and true.
Again, I would like to invite everyone to please stand and introduce the Vice President of the Class of 2025, Olivia Sowersby.
Good morning. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
Members of the Pembroke Select Board, School Committee Vice Chair Mrs. Glennon, the members of the school committee, Superintendent Obie, Mr. Talbot, faculty, staff, family, invited guests, and members of the class of 2025. I'm honored to stand up here today as the class president and represent the wonderful group of 169 kids that I've grown up with and spent the last 13 years with every day in school. I would now like to take this time to talk to my fellow graduates. While we are all closing this chapter, we go off and start the journey of the rest of our lives. I ask that we all take this time to live in the moment. Most of high school, many of us have waited for the next bigger and better thing. In elementary school, we waited to be the big, scary sixth graders, and when we got there, we never really felt that old. Then all of sixth grade, we spent getting ready to go to the middle school, where we thought we would be so cool and so much older, but in reality, we were still just scared little kids. Then we spent all of middle school going to run around outside football games and play in our backyards while we waited for the next big thing, high school. Once we got here, we were always greeted by the next big thing. Our first homecoming outside on the turf, our first midterms, our first hard classes, our first everything. That would be our year of firsts. But soon we were ready for more homecomings, more exams, more homework, more nights out with our friends, more football games, more proms, more pictures, and more memories. Then came senior year, where we waited for our year of last. Our last first day, our last midterms, our last homework assignments, our last times getting told not to run to our cars after the bell at 2:20, our last times getting school lunch and saying hi to our favorite underclassmen. And as we waited for the next big and final event, it came, and now we're here at graduation. I'm sure many have woken up today thinking about their next big thing, their next big Instagram post for graduation, their next grad party they get to attend, and the next step that they are going to take with this diploma in their hand. But I urge you to stop now, stop thinking about all of the what ifs, maybes, and next big things, and think about where you are right now. Think about all of the memories that you have made, the friends that you have sitting next to you, the teachers that have shaped the way that you view the world, and the way that you have grown in a person in the last 4 years. Think about all of those big moments that we waited for as 8th graders on our orientation tours at the end of the summer of 2021. But think about the little moments that you remember, like the times that you spent with a classmate that you never would have talked to if you weren't put in a group together, the times spent walking to the bathroom or the tight market with a friend, the times that you didn't feel the best about a test you just took and someone stopped to comfort you. Think of all of those memories, and instead of wishing to relive all of those moments and yearn for the next big thing, I ask you to appreciate those little moments and take time now to remember the moment that we have in front of us. And instead of worrying about the next bigger and better thing, be grateful for the present. With that being said, I would ask everyone to take a look around and realize that you have made it to the last big final moment at Pembroke High School. So take it all in while you're here, because one day it will only be just a memory. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations to my fellow graduates. At this time, I would like to welcome Mr. John G. Brown, Vice Chair of the Pembroke Select Board.
Thank you. Good morning, high school administrators, teachers, school committee, my member Dan Pembroke from the Select Board, parents, caregivers, and graduating class of 2025. Congratulations, you made it. You're in your home stretch of the first part of your life. For the most of you, you're chomping at the bit to get this day over. For your parents, I want to make sure that you know this is a proud moment for them. You have taken the first step into adulthood by graduating today. No matter what you do next, college, trades, workforce, military, always remember now, with a little bit of help and guidance, the choices going forward are up to you. As a parent, I hope you strive for the best in the next stage in your life. I hope that you push the boundaries of what's going to happen next in our society and in our world. And I know the town looks forward to seeing what you will do next in your lives. Before I close, I want to ask you a favor. Can you make sure you give your best no matter what you do in your life? And second, this one's difficult even for folks like us. Try not to be discouraged when life gives you obstacles to overcome. I want to congratulate again the class of 2025 for graduating today, and I hope you will never forget that you are a Pembroke Titan. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce the Vice Chair of the Pembroke Public Schools School Committee, Mrs. Allison Glennon.
Good morning. On behalf of the Pembroke School Committee, it is my honor and pleasure to congratulate you, the Pembroke High School class of 2025, on this incredible accomplishment. Before we celebrate this remarkable class, I want to take a moment to recognize the people who helped you get here. To the teachers and staff, thank you for being more than educators. You are the heart of this school community. To the families and caregivers, especially the parents, who are there through every early morning, late night, and everything in between, thank you. To the class of 2025, today is a milestone, but it's also a launch pad. You don't need a perfect plan, just stay curious, trust what inspires you, and take the next step. You've crossed one finish line, and you're already at the starting line of something even greater. As you move forward, I hope you carry with you the voices of those who helped shape you, the teachers who believed in you, the coaches who pushed you to grow and to remind you of your strength, to the friends who stood by you, the family members who cheered you on through both triumphs and challenges. You are a collection of these moments and those people. They are stitched in the fabric of your story. As Taylor Swift says in her song New Year's Day, hold on to the memories, they will hold on to you. And please don't ever become a stranger. Let that remind you, you're never truly doing this alone. You carry their belief, their lessons, their love, and you'll add to it every step you take. Pembroke is proud of you, and we will always be here for you. Congratulations again to the Pembroke High School class of 2025.
At this time, I would like to introduce Superintendent of the Pembroke Public Schools, Mrs. Erin Obie.
Good morning, family, faculty, friends, and most importantly, the Pembroke High School class of 2025. Today, we celebrate not just the conclusion of a chapter, but the beginning of an extraordinary journey. To the class of 2025, you did it. You've reached a milestone that reflects years of hard work, resilience, and growth. On behalf of the whole school district, I offer my heartfelt congratulations. As superintendent, I have the privilege of witnessing the power of education, not only in academic achievement, but in the way it shapes young people into thoughtful, capable, and compassionate leaders. And the class of 2025 has exceeded all of our expectations. You have navigated a world that is evolving at a pace no generation has ever seen before. You've adapted to change, faced challenges with courage, and demonstrated a commitment to learning that will carry you through life. Whether it was showing up for your classmates, excelling in the classroom, contributing to athletics, music, arts, or volunteering in the community, you have made Pembroke proud. But today is about more than accolades. It's about who you've become. It's about the kindness you've shown, the questions you've asked, and the voices you've found. It's about the late nights studying, the early mornings rushing out the door, the friendships you formed, and the memories you will carry with you. All of those moments have led to this one, and all of them will guide you forward. As you step into the next phase of life, college, career, service, or whatever path you choose, remember that success is not defined solely by what you achieve, but by how you live, how you treat others, and how you continue to grow. Be brave enough to take risks, be humble enough to listen, be strong enough to stand up for what's right, and always remember that you are part of a community that believes in you today and always. You are ready, you are capable, and the world needs what you have to offer. Congratulations to the class of 2025. The future is yours, and I have no doubt that you will make it bright. Go out and make a difference in the world. We are all incredibly proud of you.
At this time, I would like to introduce the principal of Pembroke High School, Mr. Mark Talbot.
School Committee Chair, Ms. Glennon, members of the School Committee, members of the Board of Selectmen, Superintendent Obie, faculty, staff, family, and friends, and most importantly, members of the class of 2025. Good morning and congratulations. So before I begin, I just want to take a moment to mention that during this fall's homecoming pep rally, Jack Dupree was one of two contestants in what became a fierce battle of musical chairs. The other contestant was a sophomore, senior against sophomore for all the marbles, for those crucial points for the Most Spirited Class Award. And suddenly, in the heat of the moment, Jack and that other student stopped circling that singular chair in the middle of the floor and instead engaged in a tug of war over the last seat. They were no longer struggling to sit in the last seat. They were struggling to actually possess it. As the principal, I was in a conundrum. This battle over the final chair was on the verge of getting out of control, and I had to do something. I was standing right here in this very spot, and I was thinking to myself, how am I going to stop this nonsense? And suddenly, Jack Dupree let go of the chair, and the sophomore class erupted with victory, no doubt about that. But Jack was quick to approach me with his head held high to tell me that he had done the right thing to put an end to the madness. He had taken the higher road. And he was very proud, as was I, of that great personal sacrifice to restore order to our pep rally. I tell the story now only because in that moment of weakness, Jack asked me to mention it in my speech, and I couldn't fit it in anywhere else, so I'm just doing it now, so I can live with that process. No, I'm only kidding, Jack. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. It really is the perfect introduction for a speech delivered to the graduating class, the only graduating class that was present for all 4 years of our preparation for our recent NEASC decennial accreditation visit. That accreditation preparation began 4 years ago during the 21-22 school year when our graduates were freshmen. And I told them then that when they were seniors, the moment of truth would be upon us, and they would be the only class of students to have gone through that gamut with us as a faculty. And I told them that we'd be relying on them to lead the way. And boy, did they ever. The short story is that we did earn our 10-year accreditation. The visiting team and the NEASC Commission on Public Schools voted overwhelmingly to award us that distinction. And they did so in large part because of our students. Yes, we aligned to the NEASC standards of accreditation, but what they were most impressed by was our students. And I've always said that a school's climate is a function of its seniors, and NEASC certainly agrees, making sure to note of the respectful and intellectual tone set by our senior class. NEASC called our school a certain type of utopia. They used those words in their closing remarks to us. And they did that because of how impressive our students, led by our seniors, are. Time and again during that visit, the visiting team commended me on the demeanor of our children. Why weren't there students in the halls? Why weren't there students in the nurse? Why weren't there students all over the building during class time? Why weren't there kids lined up at the front door after the 7:30 arrival bell had rung? Why are your kids on time every day? Where are you hiding the bad kids? Are you bribing them? Are they in a basement somewhere? This is what they told Mr. Ricks, Miss Kelly, and me time and again over that visit. And I told them every time, we have an awesome senior class. But when we began that work 4 years ago to earn our accreditation, we did have our work cut out for us. NEASC changed the rules in 2020. 1 year before we were to start, they changed the rules on us. And that was a big rule change that required all schools to have a formal documented vision of the graduate, capital V, capital G, vision of the graduate. One that identified transferable skills, knowledges, and dispositions that we wanted all of our graduates to obtain before leaving our school. This vision was deemed a foundational element by NEASC. You had to have it or you wouldn't have accreditation. We didn't have it 4 years ago. But in all honesty, as the faculty began to unpack that work, we started to realize that developing this vision of our graduate might not be much of a challenge after all. The more we collaborated as a staff, the more we realized that we have always had a common idea, a common lowercase v vision of those transferable skills and knowledges. It became evident that as a faculty we had a universal understanding of the dispositions that we felt were important for them to be successful in their college and in their careers. Heck, even the students put me at ease, I think by mistake, but I'm not sure. NEASC polled them when they were freshmen, and they asked a question that said, how well do you know your school's vision of the graduate? And you could respond by very strongly, strongly, somewhat strongly, not that strong, not at all. We did not have a vision of the graduate in 2022, but 92% of our kids said we have a very strong knowledge of our vision of the graduate. And it took me a while to realize that they weren't just kind of like trying to be nice to us and exaggerate on a canned survey from people they don't know. They weren't trying to make us look good. I think what the students were telling me, though, is that they also understood the lowercase v vision that we had for them. Those values that currently embody our vision of the graduate, they were already embedded in things that we did. Our classroom lessons, our assessments, our handbooks, our expectations for student learning, our expectations for student behavior. And because of that, our vision of the graduate now promises to develop students that are meaningful collaborators, engaged citizens, effective communicators, and empowered learners. It came to a little surprise to us that once we formalized the division, formalized this vision, the committee marveled at how quickly it became a part of our school's culture. But now that we have it, we had to develop a process for measuring it. How do we tell you, the parents? How do we tell them, the students, how close they're getting to attaining that vision, which we call our Portrait of a Pembroke Titan? We did that too. You guys helped us do that. And last week, you were the very first ever senior class that received a report card in the mail that rated how well you achieved our vision of the graduate. And so let's take a look for a moment. Let's reflect on each of our pillars to see how you, our senior class of 2025, obtained it. You are effective communicators. Over the past 4 years, we've seen your voices grow stronger, more informed, and more impactful. You've spoken on debate stages and in student government, in classroom discussions, and in everyday conversations. You've articulated your ideas with clarity, confidence, and respect. But being an effective communicator does not always mean that you always convince people to agree with you or you ultimately get what you're asking for. It's quite the opposite, and this is where you've shined. It's showing you can listen with intent, you can ask thoughtful questions, you can learn to disagree without division. In an increasingly complex world, this ability to communicate clearly and respectfully across all perspectives is not just a skill, it's a superpower. And you guys have it. You are engaged citizens. This class has demonstrated that civic responsibility and compassion are alive and well. You have volunteered. You have voted in school and local elections as recently as this past Saturday, in fact. You've participated in community drives. You've led initiatives that brought positive change to our school and beyond our school. You belong to clubs with the very mission of engaging in your community. You've embraced technology, not just as a convenience or a divisive tool to disparage people. You've used it as a tool to connect, to innovate, to create meaningful change. And you've shown time and again that diversity isn't just something that you accept, it's something that you celebrate and defend. You're aware of your world way more than I was when I was your age. And more than that, you are involved in your world. You are meaningful collaborators. You've learned it's so much more than pushing 2 desks together and asking the kid next to you, what'd you get? That's not meaningful collaboration, and you've shown that you've known that. Meaningful collaboration is not easy. It requires patience, openness, and a willingness to compromise, a willingness to move out of your comfort zone. And yet you've done that with classmates, even those you don't know very well, with teachers, with administrators, with teammates, with friends, through group projects, performances, athletic clubs, service learning. You've learned how to listen generously, include diverse voices, and take shared responsibility. You've learned that we rise by lifting others, and in doing so, you've created a community rooted in kindness, trust, and respect. And while I truly believe that all 4 of the pillars of our Portrait of the Pembroke Titan are important, I think that I hold one a bit more dearly than the others. It was crucial to me, and it was crucial to our staff, to foster empowered learners. From your very first steps into our building, you've brought curiosity, and over the years, that curiosity has turned into capability. You've explored unfamiliar subjects, you've embraced new technologies, you've tackled challenging problems, and perhaps more importantly, you've learned how to learn. You've asked bold questions, you've taken intellectual risks, and you've shown that resilience isn't about never failing. In fact, I'm most proud of you for realizing that resilience is precisely the opposite. It is about failing. It's about failing more than once if necessary, but always having the courage to fail and then learn from that failure so you can get back up and succeed. Because you're empowered, you do not turn away from challenges that make you uncomfortable, that scare you. You face them head on because you are empowered to do so. You've grown to see setbacks as stepping stones. Whether you had to master pre-calculus because I wouldn't let you out of the class, or navigate AP courses, or competing at state championship levels and winning them, by the way, right? Competing in music festivals at the state level, showing success in art shows at the state level. You're doing that because you've developed a grit, a growth mindset. You're an empowered learner that carries you forward in life beyond these halls. In your life, it will carry you. Most definitely, you've experienced struggle in your personal lives, and you've persevered. Many of you have engaged in those struggles in private, unknown to everybody but you. But you've managed to persevere. At other times, that struggle has been more well known. You've had some community support during those times, and you've managed to persevere. As we look to the future, the world awaits your unique contributions, and I won't pretend that life will be easy. Life rarely is. But you are ready. You carry with you the portrait of a Pembroke Titan. You are a learner. You're a communicator, you're a citizen, and you're a collaborator. And so tonight, we don't just celebrate what you've done, we celebrate what you've become. Class of 2025, thank you for your courage, your heart, your humor, your hope. Wherever your path takes you, college, workforce, service, the unknown, know this: you are ready to show the world what you can do. Believe that. Thank you all very much. Congratulations to you.
At this time, I ask that the chamber singers and senior members of our band return to the risers where they will perform under the direction of Miss Gwen Chapman.
Find my calling and I'll return.
It gives me great pleasure to now introduce members of the senior class that have earned the honor of representing their classmates here today. First, please welcome class valedictorian Jordan Fay.
Members of the Pembroke Select Board, School Committee Vice Chair Mrs. Glennon, and the members of the school committee, Superintendent Obi, Mr. Talbot, faculty, staff, family, and invited guests, and members of the class of 2025. I would first like to thank Mr. Talbot and all of the staff here at Pembroke High School for their guidance and support. Thank you to my friends, especially those who have gone above and beyond for me throughout the years. Shout out to the GC, you know who you are. Thank you to my family, and finally my parents, who have raised me to always be the best version of myself. So, class of 2025, it is with both pride and honor that I stand before you all today and represent our incredible class on such a special day. I want to give you all a message that I have learned over these past 4 years. Since we were young, we have all had our bubble, our binky, our childhood stuffed animal that is probably discolored, maybe missing a limb or two, but has somehow survived after all these years. We found our comfort zones within this bubble that we held on to when things started to change and when we started to grow up. Here we may have the same table we like to sit at for lunch every day that we practically claimed as our territory. Our favorite teacher that knows way too much about our lives, our go-to friend group since childhood, our perfect schedule, and so much more. We felt comfortable, safe, and that we belonged. But as we have grown up, the bubble has grown with us. We left our awkward middle school phase and entered the big, scary high school. We made new friends and gained new passions, from playing a sport or participating in the band to pursuing art and other paths. Now, from today on, we will focus on growing, trying new things, taking risks, and leaving this comfort zone. It is not an easy transition, however. I myself tended to like this safe space. I used to think life was about getting things right. The perfect grades, shocking, I know. The perfect path, the perfect plan. But one day I realized that the moments that changed me the most weren't the ones I had perfectly mapped out. They were the moments where I said, okay, this is terrifying, but I'm doing it anyway. We have grown up together in the walls of PHS, and at some point along the way, we all made this realization, even if it is right now in our caps and gowns. We stopped clutching our stuffed animals and started holding on to our dreams, our future, and each other. So whether your future includes college, the military, the workforce, or another path, I urge you all to step out of your comfort zone and try new, scary things. Travel if you have the chance. The world is so much bigger and more beautiful than we realize. Try a new hobby or activity. Talk to someone new, meet a new friend. To the guys here, talk to that girl, ask her out. Stop Snapchatting her pictures of the ceiling waiting for her to ask you. Take the risk, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable, because the moments we remember won't be the ones where everything went perfectly. They will be the ones where we took a chance. As we end this chapter today, let's carry the memories, the friendships, the awkward moments, and the growth with us. But let's also make room for what's ahead. Don't pop the bubble we have created, but expand it, as we have built something special here, but now it is time to take what we've learned and build something new. Take the chances and live without regrets. Class of 2025, congratulations, we made it. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce our class salutatorian, Daniel Noguer.
Members of the Pembroke Select Board, School Committee Vice Chair, Ms. Glennon, and the members of the school committee, Superintendent Obi, Mr. Talbot, faculty, staff, family, invited guests, and members of the class of 2025. As I begin, I want to ask you all, including the crowd, to look at the person next to you and compliment them on something. Anything. I'll give you a moment. Thank you. That was a lot more interaction than I had expected. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. To the people who did it, who is a lot of you, thank you. Some of you spoke just now to someone you've been friends with for years, and others maybe spoke to someone you've never spoken to before. Some complimented a family member, others a complete stranger. I asked you to do this because just then you were exhibiting the small act of kindness that is simply interacting with somebody in a positive manner, whether that be someone you know or not. That brings you toward the message I want to deliver to you guys today, which happens to be a sign hanging on my sister's door. Have courage, be kind. Popularly coined by Disney's 2015 live-action adaptation of Cinderella, this remark is profound enough to live by, yet simple enough that hopefully you're all able to carry it with you after today's proceedings. Right now, I want to explain to you what this quote means in the context of this momentous celebration of achievement. First is courage. And courage comes first in the order of the quote because oftentimes it takes courage to be kind. For courage is the road to all selfless action. Even the act of complimenting the person next to you, as you did just now, required some of that courage. The quality of courage is often attributed to having the will to take on large, daunting, or difficult tasks, as we all have this year and throughout our 4 years in high school. However, the true meaning of being courageous extends far beyond that. Courage is going out of your way against the current to do something. More often than not, to do something meaningful, you have to first break the norm and surpass typical expectations in order to stand out. It required courage to undertake the monumental task of completing these 4 years of high school and to emerge successful, as we all have. If you can recall, 4 years ago, it took a big deal of it to set foot in the building our freshman year for the first time. It took courage to ask someone where our class was if we were lost, and I hope I was not the only one who got lost. We had to be courageous to find our niche in this school community, to explore and find activities that suit us, alongside people with common interests or compatible character that we could call friends. Furthermore, many of us went the extra step of becoming leaders in these activities, which also required its fair share of bravery as well, not only to become a leader, but to live as one every day. But more importantly than our activities, courage came in whenever we had to be true to ourselves to do what we knew was right during our 4 years in high school. Doing what is right on a daily basis is hardly ever the easiest thing to do and never the most convenient. However, we are called upon to have the courage to do so anyways. This past Wednesday, I had the honor of attending the PHS's baccalaureate ceremony as a musician, and I heard some wise words by Mother Teresa that I believe relate to my message to you today. In an excerpt of her poem titled Anyway, she says that the good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough, but give the world the best you've got anyways. That call to selfless action requires the reservoir of courage that we all carry within ourselves. This reservoir, which could be found when you went out of your way to sit with someone at lunch who had no one else to sit with, or help to take down chairs in a classroom in the morning. Furthermore, moving on in life, that reservoir of courage will be even more needed than it was here in Pembroke. In your lives after high school, you will be facing the unknown, challenges you've never imagined yourself undertaking, people you never thought you'd meet, and goals that up until now seemed a lifetime away. In the spirit of that message by Mother Teresa, the choices we've made all through high school and what we plan to undergo after this celebratory day, have courage. The second part of the quote is to be kind. Kindness is perhaps the single most important human quality, and if I were to have you leave this graduation and go into the world with only one message, it would be to remember to be kind. Kindness also runs in tandem with my previous message of courage, because once again, it takes courage to be kind. Going out of your way to do the thing, as I said before, is hardly ever convenient. As the poem implied, it carries its own risk. People may accuse you of ulterior, selfish motives, and they may scorn you for giving kindness to those they may deem undeserving of it. but it is our responsibility to be kind regardless. Although being kind comes at the risk of stepping outside your comfort zone and being seen by others, I still urge you to take up every opportunity you can to enact kindness. Today, we live in a world where unkindness is often normalized and even encouraged by those, especially running our country. Bullies in our government get their way through coercion and corruption. Meanwhile, normalizing obscene, bigoted behavior. They normalize lying, create enemies out of our peers. Despite this, it is up to us graduates to defy this unfortunate norm and be kind, selfless, and courageous when entering the college and workforce. To the class of 2025, if we hold that intent true in our hearts and take it upon ourselves to be exceptionally brave and compassionate, this whole world will benefit. And with practice, you will find it easier to go out of your way to be kind. The risk of being embarrassed will no longer hold you back. It will become easier to spot out opportunity and act selflessly. People will no longer suspect your kind actions for ulterior motives, and your kindness will bear its reward. So, the class of 2025, I leave you now with one concise yet unequivocally crucial message: have courage and be kind. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce our class orator, Jack Gill.
Members of the Pembroke Select Board, School Committee Vice Chair Mrs. Glennon, and the members of the school committee, Superintendent Obie, Mr. Talbot, faculty, staff, family, and invited guests, and most importantly, members of the class of 2025. When I first sat down to write this speech, nothing came to mind. I sat there, staring at my desk, waiting for the perfect idea to show up, and all I got was silence. But maybe that was the point, because sometimes the hardest part is figuring out where to begin. So I shifted my focus, not to our school, but to the world around us. It's a world filled with challenges: war, disease, poverty, and political divide. Yet despite these challenges, we have gathered here, bound by a shared strength, the resilience we've built together. Today, we stand with our heads held high as a community, simultaneously both nervous and excited about the next chapter of our lives. Let's celebrate that unbreakable bond and give yourselves a round of applause. I am here before you today, awestruck at how fast time races forward. It feels like just yesterday we were timid freshmen, lost in a maze of lockers and expectations, to fit in, to succeed, to find our place in this world. And now, here we are at the close of this chapter, looking back on everything that shaped us. We've had moments of triumph when we felt like we could conquer anything, and moments of failure when we thought we could never make it through. We laughed until we cried, and we cried until we laughed, until someone reminded us that we weren't alone. Because that's the thing, we were never alone. A friend, a teacher, or even a stranger with a quiet nod in the hallway, all of them reminded us we weren't alone. Many people like to jokingly call high school a prison, especially this high school where the windows don't actually open. But I want to rewrite that story. This place, this building, this community is where our best memories were born. From late night group project panic sessions to the chaos of Spirit Week, Pembroke High School has been a chapter we will all carry with us forever. These halls didn't just hold us, they wove us together, teaching us that our shared laughter, struggles, and triumphs are the roots of our resilience. They gave us moments we'll laugh about for decades from now, and friendships that will outlast any distance our futures may put between us. As we stand at the end of our time as students, we face an incredible opportunity. This is our moment to discover who we are meant to be, to carve our own paths, and to carry the resilience we have built together into the world. I want to share 2 pieces of wisdom that I believe will light our way and highlight how connections can fuel strength. First, William Shakespeare once wrote, "Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them." We can't wait to be born great or hope it is just handed to us. We must seize the chance to achieve it. Think about it. So many of our heroes, social leaders, political trailblazers, and everyday champions all started as ordinary people, just like us. They were average, flawed, and probably tripped over their own feet a few times. But they kept going, drawing strength from those around them in their own failures. And so will we. And as Mark Twain said, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size in the fight in the dog. Our fight, our resilience, is not born from isolation. It's forged in the bonds we share, pushing us past the mistakes we will make and the failures we will face to achieve greatness, whether it's recognized by the world or just by the people who matter most. Today, we stand here not just as graduates, but as a family, shaped by every challenge, every lesson, and every moment, not just from textbooks, but from the raw and beautiful chaos of being human together. As we move forward into this great unknown, let's carry this truth. Life isn't about avoiding failure. It's about rising after every fall. It's about daring to try, stumbling, and trying again. It's about holding on to hope even when it feels out of reach. So let's step into the future with gratitude for the bonds we have built, courage to chase our dreams, and the certainty that, no matter where we go, we carry Pembroke High School, its lessons, its people, its resilient spirit with us. This school didn't just give us a diploma. It gave us a home, a community, and the strength of each other, and that's something time can never erase. Thank you.
At this time, I have the honor of recognizing the members of the class of 2025 that are committed to serve our nation as a member of our armed forces after graduation. This sacrifice to protect the freedoms that we so deeply cherish is worthy of our deepest gratitude and recognition. So at this time, I ask all members of the class of 2025 that will soon serve as members of our armed forces to please rise. Congratulations and thanks to all of you. It is now time to award the class of 2025 their diplomas. And to do that, I'd like to introduce Assistant Principals Mr. David Ricks, Ms. Kristen Kelly, and School Committee Vice Chair Mrs. Allison Glennon.
Catherine Marie Jacey. Olivia Jean Sowersby. Elise Catherine McKillop. Alexandra Marie Raleigh. Ellie Ray Tam. Jordan Olivia Fay. Daniel E. Noguer. Jack Gill. Christopher J. Agnew. Ava Therese Aldopoulos. Drew Vincent Anderleonis. Veronia E. Awad. Caroline Teresa Belasco. Ethan Cooper Baroni. Catherine Vanessa Bautista. Lillian B. Baird. Brandon S. Bedrosian. Ella Bedrosian. Navina M. Bakit. Silas Eli H. Bell. Maya Rose Bergamesca. Emily F. Bennett. Colin Blake. Haley Marie Borden. Ava Bufavangza. Brian Thomas Bowen. Elizabeth Grace Burke. Haley Knowles Burrell. Joseph Butler. Melanie May Butler. Cole M. Candido. Maeve Mareed Carey. Elena Rumbini Celli. Jessica Marie Sabati. Shane Crowley. Isabella Cucci. Brandon Roger Curtis. Ruth Ann Dannison. Joseph Peter Daphne. Sarah Laurie DeCoste. Courtney Alexis Duren. Jacob P. DeRocha. Madeline Mary Devonshire. Timothy W. Diskin. Benjamin G. Dixon. Seth Montgomery Doherty. Sydney Kimber Elaine Dooner. Amelia Claire Doyle. Christopher W. Doyle. Kobe John Draves. Caitlin Driscoll. Reese C. Dunton. Jack M. Dupree. Allison Elizabeth Dwyer. Jack Eva. Kira Elizabeth Fahey. Maxwell R. Farrow. Camilla H. Fernandez. Addison Vaughn Figueredo. Jared R. Fitzpatrick. Daniel William Flynn. Alexander F. Fontaine. Karina Frank. Cameron James Fryer. Adriana Leah Gabler. Veronica Ramon Gattas. Benjamin Gibbs Keller. Maya Grace Giese. Ian A. Gillen. Riley D. Gillis. Elizabeth Kelly Goff. Nicholas Golden. Sarah T. Goodman. Garrett Hackett. Sophia Eva Hall. Andrew Paul Hancock. Megan Elizabeth Hanrahan. William G. Harvey. Dakota Ocean Hebert. Kevin J. Henry. Gavin Daniel Holloway. Sean Michael Holmes. Shelby Kate Houghton. Samuel M. Jean-Baptiste. Switch slides, yeah. Ready? Allison Johnson. David B. Johnson. Connor D. Judson. Daniel Joseph Curley. Marley Catherine Knox. Sophie Margaret Kaplowski. Kelsey Lynn Kruger. Sawyer L. Labrie. Gabriel William Lamar. Luke Lamar. Benjamin Paul Landolfi. Keith L. Lawson. Tanner R. Lawson. Jaden Winter Leonard. Allison Faith Linscott. Brooke Elizabeth Littlefield. Owen D. Lynch. Margaret Rankin McDonald. Declan Matthew McDevitt. Lauren Marie McKinnon. Christopher J. McNamara. Nathan Thomas McPhail. Kevin Keller Michael. Ryan David Milchunes. Caroline Adams Minogue. Casey Raymond Mata. Jack Stephen Mullaney. Colin Matthew Murphy. Carlos A. Murphy. Kenneth William Napier. Sadie D. Nugent. Timothy O'Keefe. Maggie May O'Malley. Michael James O'Sullivan. Owen Patrick Pace. Bradley F. Palmer. Brianna Campo Palmer. Caden P.J. Payne. Lauren Anna Pearson. Marco C. Pepino. Michael A. Perez. Peter Joseph Pothier. Caleb S. Pratt. Emma Catherine Quigley. Grayson Sargent. Alex W. Ragab. Riker Michael Ricciardi. Braylon Alexis Riley. Lily May Rio. William J. Rosano. Gabriel P. Rushing. Sydney Keen Ryan. Luke Santoro. Colin M. Saunders. Isabella May Sawyer. Jack M. Sawyer. Peter Allen Schultz. Michael J. Shaughnessy. Ella Yvonne Shea. Jacob D. Sheehan. Braden Edward Small. Vetter A. Sorgi. Alexander Cerritos. Elizabeth Mary Saritas. Joshua Henry Stokinger. Sydney Kelly Sullivan. Elena Marie Tavares. Catherine Shea Taylor. Logan Estivaletti Toledo. Grace Ann Toller. Grace Jean Torrey. Sean P. Tracy. Sophia Arquizo. Devin Page Vitale. Dylan Michael Vondet. Dylan Paul Wagner. Jenna Walters. Martin Thomas Ward. Austin James Webb. Allison E. Whitman. Kiara Lee Yatanes. Ava M. Zdenek.
At this time, I would ask that Class President JC join me at the podium one last time. Would the Class of 2025 please rise? Turn around and face them. Stand in the front and face. Class President JC, would you please assist me in leading your classmates through the ceremonial transfer of tassels? School Committee Vice Chair, members of the School Committee, Superintendent Obie, I am able to certify to each of you that these diploma candidates has met or exceeded the requirements for graduation as established by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Pembroke Public Schools School Committee. They are worthy recipients of a Pembroke High School diploma. To the Class of 2025, by the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the Pembroke Public Schools, I now pronounce you graduates.